I'm taking a strap. I'm strapped up.
What's happening? What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 98 of the SZN Podcast. I'm your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And just before we kick off the episode, my usual housekeeping message, guys. Please make sure you head over to our Instagram. That's SZN Pod, or our Twitter, SZN Podcast. And hit the link in the bio. And that link will take you to all of our links in terms of where we're situated at streaming-wise, whether that's YouTube if you prefer visuals, or if you like audio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the major streaming platforms really were there. So make sure you head over to that link and give us a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, how you been, bro? Another week. You're on mute, by the way, bro.
Yeah, it's hot as hell, man.
I hope you're keeping cool, dog, because fam, this
when the water's on deck.
This heat is crazy, man. This heat is, for England anyway, this heat is nuts. Yeah, the weather's hotting up, and we said last week, you know, the boxing action's soon to be hotting up. Obviously, we've got some good fights coming up in July, August, September. Let's delve straight into the breakdowns. 2 fights from the weekend that I wanted to get into. First card was home card, so Chisora versus Pulev II. I think it's only right we start with that one, right? Yeah. Cool. This actually was, yeah. I'm thinking, where can I start this? Because last week, you know how we said it's a nothing fight, and
yeah,
it's a fight that doesn't really like shift the needle in the heavyweight division, etc. But we did say it'll be an exciting scrap regardless, because Chisora is in exciting fights, especially given the form that he's in. And to be fair to both fighters, it was quite an entertaining scrap. Let's be real. You know, there were moments I really enjoyed myself watching that. Both fighters came to fight. And I think I predicted that, you know, we might finally see Chisora get his just desserts, right? Get his due. He's been on the back end of some tough, close decisions recently. Some people say, you know, he's been robbed a couple times. I wholeheartedly disagree, but I do agree that he has been in some close fights and he's given a good account of himself. I think this will be the one where he gets. And watching this fight, it played out, I think, exactly how I expected it to play out, Flowz. Very, very predictable, this one, I think, in terms of how it's going to play out. Getting straight into it. Well, first of all, what do you make of, talking about the preamble, yeah, Flowz? I know you like to talk about the preamble a lot.
Yeah.
The antics that Chisora was playing with, you know, try to, do you not see the way in where these men were grabbing each other's shirts and that, like, yeah. It's embarrassing, bro. Mad embarrassing, because I know they were trying to force the bad blood, because I don't think there really is bad blood between both of these two. I think Chisora was just being his usual Chisora self and just being a madman, and Pulev was happy to rise to it, really. But I didn't really take any note of the little antics before the fight. I don't know if you did.
I didn't. Like, it's a rematch, but there was never been bad blood there.
Ever. I
guess. I even think Chisora is quite tame, because I think he knows Pulev's a madman himself.
Facts.
Pulev's willing to go wherever. So
now, when you mentioned Pulev being a madman, I just remember the AJ fight. What Pulev was doing at the AJ fight was throwing me off so much. Absolute nutter.
It pieced up and laughing. I was laughing in the middle of the ring. So Pulev's a madman, and he's probably more unpredictable than Chisora.
Yeah, facts.
So I think now, from the time when he took Chisora's hat, I was like, Chisora's not letting anyone else do that to him. He's not. But because Pulev's got the madman thing on lock as well, he knows that there's still a fight to be had, so I can't move too nuts.
Yeah.
So the preamble was what it was. There's two guys who are known to be a bit unhinged. So I expected a bit of tussling, a bit of a pre-show, but realistically, I know there's no real beef there, and I know things aren't going to go off the rails like a white Chisora or Chisora doing something nuts like what he's done in the past against.
Or what he's done, you know, or David, you know, yeah.
He's done some nuts things. I knew he wouldn't move too nuts with Pulev, because
Basically,
it didn't sell the fight for me. I'll take
Flakes, I was gonna say, basically, what you're saying for is everyone's a madman until a madder man steps into the room. Basically,
trust me. Yeah, so yeah, like I was saying, it didn't sell the fight for me. It didn't make it seem, I'm buzzing for this one now.
Yeah,
I was like, these are two madmen. They're gonna do what madmen do.
Yeah, facts. We said that obviously we've seen, I guess, this shift, I guess, in terms of let's call it a bit of an Indian summer, a bit of a career renaissance for Chisora in the sense that he's been coming to fights in shape, on it. Because obviously, we said before, you never know which Del Boy is going to turn up. Sometimes he's on it and he gives you a good fight. Other times he's dire to watch because you can tell he just hasn't given a damn. But we're both really confident that this is going to be Chisora that's going to be up for this. He wants to avenge the loss, especially going off what he's been doing recently as well in the ring. He's someone that's been coming in motivated and in shape. So I think both of us predicted that Chisora will predictably start like a train. And this will be a two different styles in the sense that Chisora is going to look to be on the inside as the smaller guy in that sense, smaller dimensions. His best bet is to be on the inside, try and rough Pulev off and rough Pulev up. Whereas Pulev will look to stay on the outside, use his range, use his superior boxing skills to box Chisora from range, which is what he did last time in their first fight, and he stopped him in doing so. And yeah, predictably, first round floors, Chisora has come out like an animal. Immediately on Pulev's chest, immediately bang into the body. And then every time I was clinching, Chisora was roughing him up, hitting him behind the back of the head, hitting him to the body, etc., etc. We knew it was coming. We knew that's what Chisora was going to do. He's going to start fast, high work rate, high energy. I was saying to myself, Flowz, this is going to last 4 rounds. In terms of this work rate and energy from Chisora, is lasting 4 rounds tops. I promise you. But I was liking what I was seeing. I think that was the correct game plan. And yeah, for about 2 rounds, it worked nicely. But you could see from round 3, Pulev was then starting to come into it in terms of the work rate from Chisora was slightly diminishing a little bit. He was getting tired. And Pulev was then starting to have success on the outside with his jab, piecing Chisora up, such a superior footwork and superior boxing ability, etc. And yeah, that was when Pulev was going to come into it. From those first couple rounds, I think you shared the same sentiments, right, Flowz? I don't want to speak to you. I know, you probably had the same thing going as well in terms of you thought Chisora started well, did what you had to do, but it was always sort of that air of inevitability, right?
Yeah. I expected him to come out, try and work the body, slow him down, getting on the inside and whatnot. And we've said it before, we've just mentioned it in the last episode, we know what Chisora is going to do. Like, we talk about his engine, but he manages his engine really well. Because for the second round, he was already looking tired.
I'll never, when you, I think it's like 5th round or whatever, and you've messaged me saying, yep, time for Chisora to start managing that tank. I was busting up because we knew exactly what you meant.
So when he started, like, the work rate dropped. So that intensity that he had early on, where he started fast in the round, dropped, boom, boom, boom. And you see him start to go to the corner or start to load in the final minute and then have all the success in the final minute of the round. You know what time Chisora's on. Yeah. Go to the corner, and he's very good at being in the corner
and not getting hit cleanly.
And negating the opponent's offense. He's very good at it. He'll wait. Because he's not hurt.
Yeah.
And typically when you're caught in the corners because you're under a barrage, but he's waiting for you to come. Like, I'm ready.
He's actually quite handy and very well. Like, yeah, this speaks to experience, right? When it comes to slipping shots, Chisora is very, very canny at doing it. Bobbing and weaving and sort of, slipping shots like that. He's able to negate so much damage from that. And obviously, if you get close to him, he'll just tie you up as well. So he knows what he's a crafty veteran. He knows what he's doing in there.
He's live for 12 rounds. I always say, as long as he's there in front of you standing, whether you hurt him, whether you wobble him, he's live. He's always a live threat. So yeah, he's dare I say, is a master. Because we know what he's going to do. And so it's no surprise. It's no surprise. But still, he does it and he has success doing it.
And dare I say, I've said it before, I think Chisora he tricks you on, man. Chisora, he tricks people because when he's on his conserve energy tip, it literally is for 2 minutes of the round, this guy will be outworked. He'll be chilling on the ropes doing nothing. And it's either when he gets hit with a big shot and people think he's hurt, or it's literally the last minute or 30 seconds of the round, explodes into action. And him winning that last 30 seconds or the last minute usually has people thinking, yeah, what heart, Chisora around, getting gassed up. That's how they get tricked by Derek. But what about the other 2 minutes here when he's been thoroughly outworked and pieced up? They'll forget that because of that last minute explosion that he does. He's so good at it, and it gets people. Yeah.
I always say, when I judge fights, I break the rounds by each minute.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, this person gets the first minute, this person gets the second minute, this person gets the third minute. So you don't forget what happened at the start of the round, what happened in the middle of the round. So I'm always looking at the clock. That's if I'm this one. I can't, let's say I was actively scoring.
Yeah, because I wasn't even actively scoring. Yeah.
But I was. We'll get into the scoring anyway. But I was. But typically, if I'm like, this is the fight where I know it's going to be a chess piece or whatever, I would sit and score it heavily. Whereas usually, like heavyweight fights or when Chisora's involved, I just expected a scrap really.
Yeah.
But, just so, because I know what Chisora is going to do at the end of the round, who have his flurries. A lot of fighters try and do that. We've always got to look at the first, what happened at the start of the round, middle, and the end of the round, not just look at portions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like you say, people get tricks because they see the live moments and be like, yeah, that's his round because of a live moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to look at the whole round in its entirety.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the thing. Boxing scored by rounds. So
yeah,
but by moments.
Yeah, fully agree. And this fight, it was a close fight to me, because obviously we mentioned Chisora had a lot of success to his body, to Pulev's body, and I actually think that Chisora's body work was superb throughout, in the sense that he kept it up. Pulev is a tough man because the body shots that he shipped throughout the night, I'm there thinking it's gonna pay dividends surely. But I guess it's testament to the condition of him. Given that he's 41 or so, his condition is superb because Chisora banged that body all night and it didn't look to slow Pulev down too much. But I was happy with Chisora continuing that body work, and he never left it really. He stayed going to the body, which was good. It's very easy for heavyweights, as we know, to headhunt. Very, very easy. As you mentioned, Pulev did come back into it, partly because obviously Chisora, his energy reserves have never really been the best. But also, Pulev was doing his own good work as well from the outside. We know he's a much superior boxer to Chisora, so him using his jab and catching Chisora coming in was always going to be quite easy for him. And he was doing that. He was, obviously, Chisora is having to come in close to fight from a close quarters sort of fight. And each time he was coming in, Pulev was just piecing up with his jab or with combinations and timing Chisora. And Chisora's footwork isn't the best to sort of get out of range in that sense. He can only sort of bob and weave. So yeah, I actually liked what Pulev was doing as well. What I didn't like was, sort of to come onto it, was the commentary. Let's talk about the commentary, Flowz, because if we watched this fight, just based on the commentary that we heard on that night, we would have been mistaken for thinking, it was a 12-round Chisora shutout. No, legit. If we held any credence to the commentary that we received on that night, 12-0 Chisora, easy work.
If you watch that's how I shot and you just heard the commentary, I shot commentary.
Trust.
Walk in the park for Chisora. That's what you think it was.
Crazy. And it came from one specific, from one particular person as well, who was one of my favorite boxers at the time. Boy, I don't know. Ever since I barely used second loss, it's been a bit peak for him. I can't lie, but yeah, man, Mr. David Haye on the commentary, it was a poor job. Let's not beat around the bush, Flowz. It was a poor job commentary wise from David Haye, and to be most of the rest of the zone team. To be fair, One or two maybe I think were a bit fair, but the bias in the commentary was insane. And at one point, David Haye had Chisora 8 rounds up. Do you know how mad that is? 8 rounds up.
Ah, my goodness. I think Mike Castillo was the only one at least commentating on Pulev's work at points where he would do something. But these men will be standing there watching Pulev piece up Chisora, and I don't say a word. We'll be praising Chisora's previous work, was talking about Chisora's body work. I was like, you lot are moving nuts. Yeah. I was watching thinking, what's going on here? And fair play to Tony Bellew because
he was,
his scorecard seemed
he was fair,
balanced. Yeah, it seemed balanced. So I was like, I expect mad bias from Tony Bellew because him and Chisora have been boys for years. Yeah, but the way Haye was talking on that commentary box, they should have shut off his mic. I can't lie.
Yeah, no. And to be fair, the rest of the timeline clocked as well. It wasn't just us that picked up on it. Hella people all the time because I searched Haye's name, but the first one will say, "Oh, why is Haye commentating this? This commentary from Haye is shocking." Blah 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 blah. So I'm glad
I don't hear him commentate again. I can't lie.
Nah, it was
because it wasn't just the bias; it was the actual analysis that was shocking.
He was making up his own rules as to how boxing was scored. I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
Oh man, this guy was. What was he?
We was talking about how is it the body work? Something about our headshots and body work being scored. I can't remember.
Yeah, he said, box. He said the body shots should be scored the same as headshots.
Yes.
To me personally, well, there's no rules on judging. There isn't no rules.
That's an unwritten rules in it. So yeah.
But the head's harder to hit than the body, so how can it be scored the same? Like off rip is what I'll say. He was also justifying rabbit punching, blaming Pulev for Chisora rabbit punching him.
Yeah.
He said, what's he meant to do? Where else is he meant to punch? It doesn't matter. You're not allowed to rabbit punch. You can't punch the back of the head and say, where else is he meant to punch? And try to justify that. Then he'd suggest that the ref has given Pulev too many warnings now.
Yeah.
Even though him and Chisora
even though Chisora had the same. Yeah.
Even at the time, Chisora had more warnings at the time. Chisora was getting warnings. There was a period where Chisora got like 2 warnings in a row.
Yeah.
About punching.
Yeah.
And then they didn't say a word. Then Pulev got warned, and I was like, that's another one. The next one is a point. The next one, he said, he's had too many warnings now.
The commentary was crazy. The commentary for this one was nuts. And I don't want to see certain men in the commentary box again because they were moving like fanboys. And like I said, I think at one point obviously they've read out their comments, their sort of scorecards or whatever, and I was like, I've actually got Pulev ahead right now. I actually think Pulev is winning this fight, but it was super close. And I think headed into the last 2 rounds, I think that might have swung it for Chisora in my book, or maybe a draw, but it was a super close fight heading into the scorecards. So I wasn't personally too mad at the result. So it's ended up being this SD in favor of Chisora. I wasn't mad at that because to me, it was a mad close fight. It could have actually been a draw, to be honest. Very close fight, very competitive. Chisora, he did get his second wind a little bit towards the end, obviously, which he usually tends to do. Got his second wind and was able to sort of come back on Pulev. And I think the last round, he definitely won the 12th round, which was a really important round, I think, for, I guess, a lot of people, including the judges. And he was able to win that last round convincingly. I don't know what happened to Pulev in that last round. It's like he kind of like shut off. But really close fight. They both hurt each other a couple times, actually, but there wasn't any like knockdowns or anything, but just a really close, competitive, old school kind of slugfest. Happy for Chisora because I guess you could say he's been due one, especially coming off the back of these last tough results. And hometown fighter, he was always going to get it. The crowd was into it. They're always going to give it to him as a close decision, hometown fighter. But it's for me, the annoyance of a night was the commentating. That's the main takeaway I had. Like, I just couldn't believe how they were brazenly ignoring Pulev's good work. And Pulev did some nice stuff in there. Really good stuff. Yeah. So that was my takeaway. I just didn't like the commentating.
Yeah, I went mad at the score Well, I was look scorecards. I wasn't mad at the results. Let's put it that way. Because it was a close fight, split decision. Yeah, I gave it to Pulev.
Yeah,
I gave it to Pulev, but yeah, close. I would have a draw. I think would have been a fair result.
Yeah.
But like we say, I was watching the fight and I was like, yeah, they're going to give this to Chisora. It's too close.
Yeah.
Not to. Every time Chisora done something, the crowd went wild. Even though it'll be an exchange where he maybe eat 2 or 3 and then land a big shot. It's funny that they didn't really show the punch stats because I know Pulev had landed it. I know that for a fact.
I caught they always show the punch. Like, I caught they didn't do it this time though. The only
punch stats they showed was body shots. That's the only one and that's what
that's slick, man. Yeah.
Like the zone didn't show us no punch stats, and I know for a fact Pulev out landing him because
he might have even doubled his work rate, you know. No, because Pulev was threw a lot of punches.
Yeah.
And like you said, Chisora does that thing where he would chill for like 2 minutes before he starts throwing.
Yeah, granted, he was probably missing a lot. And the thing is with Pulev, his power is an authoritative kind of thing. He went, his jab isn't pistol-like, his jab was
wasn't, yes. Yeah.
His right hand isn't a bomb as such.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just effective punching kind of thing. Well, but yeah, it's scoring shots, really. So his jab was working, even though it was a bit, it's not an authoritative jab, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, it wasn't.
And he was trying to find uppercuts. He was trying to find shots, scoring shots. Really, is what I was saying. It's not shots that were gonna hurt or wobble him too much.
Yeah,
but he was doing that all night.
Quite well, actually.
Yeah,
yeah.
He was finding moments and trying to find his timing and rhythm in there. But credit to Chisora, he was making him miss a lot of those shots and trying to work his way in and throwing the over right hand, which was landing more often than Pulev should have liked because it was the same shot.
I think I said that. I felt like Chisora he could have actually gone to the overhand right a lot more. I don't think he went there enough because when he was able to land it, he was able to land it real nice and clean. Well, not even clean, to be honest, because Chisora is so crude. when you compare technique of punches to Pulev to Chisora, you see Chisora, it's a lot of forearms, it's a lot of elbow. Like he doesn't really catch you. He didn't really catch Pulev clean a lot. There was a lot of like mistimed shots where he's landing a forearm and whatnot, and just heavy shots with just grazing you kind of. So yeah, if he was to get his timing a bit more proper, he could have possibly done some more damage anyways to Pulev. I'll quickly want to touch upon as well first with the whole, I guess, body shot being scored, etc., etc. It's an interesting one for me because I actually do feel like body work is routinely ignored, by judges.
Yeah,
especially when it comes to headshot. Like I feel like it's easier for judges to score headshots, obviously, because they're flashy and they're usually the shots that obviously stop people, etc. Especially headshots are knocking your head back and bobbing your head back. It's not hard to be like, okay, cool, scoring shot. And there's a lot of fighters who do a lot of good body work, but it doesn't seem to be counted. But yeah, it's interesting, as you said, you feel like headshots should still be worth more because it's harder to hit the head, whereas the body's a much bigger target. I do feel like we're still going to get further discourse about this in boxing in terms of the clarity, whether body shots should be scored less or more, or should judges pay attention more to body shots. I feel like it's something that's going to come up again for sure.
The thing is, we have no idea how these judges are scoring fights. No idea. They don't tell us afterwards. They don't say this is what I liked, this is what I enjoyed seeing. I agree with you. Body shots definitely count. Should definitely be scored 100%. And it annoys me when it almost seems neglected, where someone's investing to the body and doing good work on the inside. And then you see the scorecards afterwards and you're thinking, well, what about this round where he was working him on the inside and even hurting him at times to the body? I just think, obviously, it's like you don't score a jab the same as a power punch almost, with clean and effective. You don't score
aggression.
A tippy tappy jab the same as a
piston.
A piston jab, like one that's bobbing heads back. Like there should be some weight. Like that's how I see it. So granted, Chisora's body work was really good. It definitely deserves to be counted. And if he won it off that, fair enough. But the way David Hay was putting it was like, they're the same. Like, relax. I even see body shots more as an investment, money in the bank for you. Like later on in the fight, it's breaking down the opponent more so than trying to win on the scorecards. It's breaking down your opponent so you can get them out of there. That's how I would view it as a fighter anyway. But yeah, Pulev, I think what Pulev down, especially that last round, which was a crucial round.
Yeah.
Chisora waited for him that whole round in the corner. He had Chisora on the back foot that round.
Yeah.
And Chisora probably won that round. Not even based on output, just based on landing big shots. Landing 2 or 3 big shots in that round.
Yeah.
Whereas Pulev was just waiting because he was too scared to engage while he was in that corner.
Yeah.
And he was waited too long and let himself get caught with that overhand right. And I think, well, once again, the scorecards don't even match whether he won that round or not. He still lost the fight.
Because one was wide, one was They were interesting.
It don't even matter too much. So, but I feel like Pulev lost that fight himself almost. He let himself down. He could have done more. Whereas Chisora had done what he needed to do. Pulev could have done more. Especially he had to do more. Especially being an away fighter. Hearing that you've landed 3 shots and you hear the crowd go crazy because he's landed 1. Up the tempo.
Trust. Yeah. It was good to see Chisora back with Don Charles as well. Obviously, that's obviously he's been a long-time trainer. He's been fighting for the last couple of fights, and he had a little bit of a fallout and whatnot. But yeah, good to see. I guess the old team back. That was nice to see. So yeah, the Chisora train somehow keeps grumbling on. Boy, obviously, yeah, he has no plans to retire. So Lord knows what's next for him. They'll find an opponent for him, but he said he wants to fight everyone, pretty much. He said he's down to fight everyone. I don't know who possibly could be next for him. Yeah, I feel like he's sort of run out of a certain caliber of opponent. He might have to fight one of his young bucks. I have no idea. But yeah, we're definitely going to see Derek out there again, I'm sure. Maybe sometime next year. Or maybe before the end of the year even. And Pulev, boy, I don't know. He's 41 in it, so he still looks alright to be fair, Pulev, but he's not gonna challenge again, I don't think.
Look, his face was marked up, Pulev, but he ate every single one of them shots and kept moving forward. They didn't even he didn't take a step back once.
Yeah.
Didn't take a step back once. So yeah, respect to him for that. And respect to Chisora as well, because he's someone who still doesn't go down. Even he was hurt in that fight. He was wobbled, kept moving forward as well. So yeah, who'd you like to see them in against? Well, Chisora and with next.
I was gonna say, I don't really know about Pulev because, like I said, he's coming to. I feel like he's coming to the twilight of his career. Don't care about Chisora either. I'll be real. He's not going to challenge for titles, whatever. Like I said, his best bet now, or what I can see them moving him to what's next, is one of these. I don't know. If he's a gatekeeper, he's got to be fight one of these young up and comers, isn't it? Or rematch? No, he's rematched Parker already. Yeah, man, someone like a Joe Joyce, maybe, if you want to take that risk. I don't know. Andrew Ruiz, I don't know. Someone like that. Yeah, it depends on how far he wants to extend himself in terms of competition-wise, but it's tough because, like I said, he's sort of a nothing opponent, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Doesn't present you anything ranking-wise. Doesn't have any belts. He's sort of coming towards the end of his career. It's just more entertainment for the fans until he gets badly hurt, really, or badly beat up. So yeah, I don't know for Chisora, but I'll be tuning into every fight they put him in there because he's in exciting fights, isn't he? So yeah,
I think he's obviously just looking for paydays now, biggest fights possible. I don't think he has too much interest in being a gatekeeper as such for up and comers. He called out Wilder. Pride. He says he wants the Wilder fight. He stay away from Wilder.
He gets slept. Let's be real.
And I'll say why, because Pulev was landing that 1-2 too frequently for my liking against him. It was a weak 1-2. Like I was saying, there's no power behind it. That 1-2 is Wilder's best shot.
Yeah.
Now there's obviously questions about Wilder's wrists and hands now because he keeps breaking them, but he'll break his hand on that face. I'll put Chisora straight to sleep. So,
Trust. Wilder struggles to beat Chisora though.
I don't want to see it for Chisora. Fire.
Flowz, that might be something they're cooking still. Anyways, we'll see.
Fight Luis Ortiz.
Oh wow. Battle the old timers for real.
Fight Luis Ortiz. Let's see how that goes. Because
Yeah.
if Ortiz, if you lose that one, because who dropped him twice?
Who, Ortiz?
Oh, it wasn't.
Why this dropped him twice?
What's his name? King. What's his name? I want himself like a god.
Oh, what's his name? Charles Martin.
Charles Martin. Didn't he drop Ortiz twice? Or am I dreaming?
Wait, I don't think. No, I don't think. I don't think Martin did that. No. Did he?
You done it then.
Was it Charles Martin? No way. Nah.
Wait. Someone dropped him, and he looks shaky. It was Charles Martin.
I'll check it now.
Yeah, please check.
Yeah, I think it was. It was this year, wasn't it? Earlier this year. Yeah, I remember.
He won, but he stopped him. But
Ortiz stopped him at the end. But yeah,
it was Charles Martin. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Charles Martin still.
Yeah. If Charles Martin's dropping you, then yeah, put him in with Ortiz. I want to see that one still.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. That's if Ortiz is going to be walled out again. We can't remember. He's 50, so boy.
Isn't he scheduled to fight Andy Ruiz soon?
Is that been confirmed? I don't know if that's officially been made yet, but
I don't know.
Who knows for them, man? But yeah, just quickly moving on. We want to touch upon the other fight that went down on the weekend. It's one that sort of went under the radar, but Magsayo versus Ray Vargas. That was actually a good fight. Very, very close fight. Ray Vargas took it by SD. Highly listeners, if you get a chance, check that one out because very fast-paced fight as you sort of expect for the lower weight classes. Vargas sort of box on the outside and uses superior footwork and length and reach to stay on the outside, whereas Magsayo was looking to come in and inside and hit him with big combinations, etc. So it did make for some explosive action, some very, very explosive action, but for me, the right man took it in the end. I just about gave it to Vargas, even though he did get dropped in the 10th. I think it was the 10th. I think Magsayo caught him with a really good combination on the inside in the 10th, which dropped him, but he was able to sort of beat the count and come back from that one. So, Vargas took Magsayo's belt. That's a new champion in the division. I think that's his second title in a different division. So, Vargas is moving on up. But I enjoyed the work from Magsayo. I do think he'll be back again. He kind of has that. He's trained by Freddie Roach, right? So he's got a bit of Pacquiao to him in terms of how he fights. He comes forward, exciting, lets his hands go. He's definitely got that towards him. He definitely would have earned. Even though he lost, it was a good loss. So I definitely feel like he'll be back, definitely stronger than ever, and he will be a problem again in that division. But Vargas I like a lot because for me what I've seen of him, he's a Mexican fight. He can fight the traditional Mexican way in terms of come forward and let his hands go, whatever, or he can box in terms of stay on the back foot, use his size and reach and timing. So he's got both notches in his arrow. So that's why I think he's a good one to pay attention to going forward. But just nice one to touch upon. That one still. The lower weight class is always fun, man. Yeah,
I didn't catch that fight, but I'll watch it back. I'll watch the card back because I know Frank Martin was on that card as well. Yeah. So he's one to look out for. Yeah. I'm sure we'll have him on our list at some point.
I was gonna say he's touching the list. You know what list I'm talking about. He's touching that list.
He's moving around in that division where there are other names at. So he's another. He just hasn't really fought anyone too tough just yet, but I think I'll be liking the look of him. So I'll definitely watch that card and catch his performance. I know he performed well as well. So watch out for the ghost.
Yeah, for sure. Good weekends worth of action, and let's go. Let's move on to next week. Right. So next week we have Ryan Garcia, Javier Fortuna. Flowz, react.
This fight was meant to happen a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's been pushed back a couple of times. Yeah.
Good fight. Yeah. You see, I diss Ryan Garcia, but the kid can
You
fight.
do? Yeah.
The guy can fight. I will never take that through. He's skilled. He's talented. Still weaknesses in his game, but he can fight. I think he gets a lot more disrespect than he deserves. I expect him to win. I'm backing him
He
to
deserves, do you reckon? But
Yeah,
is that because in terms of his boxing ability or just him being a bit of a bozo?
He deserves. No, people talk like he can't fight. That's what I'm saying. Like he moves like a goofball. That's a fact. But people talk like this guy can't fight, and he can fight.
Kid can box.
Yeah,
Kid can box.
So, but he doesn't help himself with the whole goofy act. Everything he does is just corny. Yeah. Let's not even get into that. In terms of fight, this is a good fight. If he can come through it, it's a great step. But it's almost like you've had your shot to make big fights already. So you're still operating at a level where we should have seen you take on the Devin Haney's already. That fight should have really been happened. Yeah. So good fight for it. Well, he came back the last fight.
Mm-hmm.
Against Tago, right?
Tago, it was Tago, yeah.
Yeah, Emmanuel Tago. So it's a good fight. Fortuna can fight. There's no doubt about that. So
Fortuna can fight. I'm not overly enamored with the choice of opponent. I'll be honest with you, Flowz.
It's not a step forward, like I was saying. It's not a step forward.
I think Ryan Garcia is going to bat him up. I'll be so real. I think Ryan Garcia is going to handle him. Fortuna, not Fortuna. Good fighter, very solid fighter. Small though, very small, especially compared to Ryan, who is a big. Well, these are the lightweights, right? Yeah, Ryan Garcia is a big lightweight. In fact, one of the biggest in the division. Fortuna, I know he spent a lot of campaigning in the weight class below before moving on to lightweight. But overall, he's small. He's about 5'6", a lot smaller reach. Garcia's just got much bigger dimensions, bigger puncher. Yeah, man, I could see Ryan Garcia. If it's Ryan Garcia that's serious and it's on his A game, I see him beating up Javier Fortuna, unfortunately, and it not being as competitive as I guess what people would like. So yeah, you're right. It's not a step forward at all. In fact, it's a step down from Luke Campbell, who obviously we saw Ryan Garcia fight and get dropped by, etc. It's a step down, in my opinion. Fortuna is not as good as Campbell, in my eyes. So yeah, I'm not massively like overall at all. But yeah, if I chose an opponent all this fight, so I expect a Ryan Garcia W, a comfy Ryan Garcia W, and it will then be the usual call out. Who's he? He said he wants Tank and he wants. Yeah, it's Tank that he wants. So we know that's never happening. So he's calling out Tank for no reason because we know it's never, ever going to happen right now. Yeah. They'll probably mention Haney. He'll probably say, maybe he probably allude to the fact that, he wants it, but I don't know if he wants it or maybe not if he doesn't want it. I don't know if Oscar wants it because you can't forget it's all Oscar really. So, yeah.
Oscar pump fakes like he wants it. Definitely pump fakes like he wants to make it happen, but
yeah,
I think Ryan Garcia wants to fight Tank.
Yeah,
but yeah, Oscar definitely doesn't.
I want Garcia to fight. I said it before with these lightweights. I just want them all in the mix. We've said it for more than 2 years now, ain't we, Flo? So I just want Garcia to be in the mix with these other guys and fight these other men. Simple. But it's not just Garcia. The podcast doesn't stop with Garcia. It's the rest of these guys. Apart from Haney, David Haney excluded because he's gone and done what he's had to do, and he's top, king of the ring now, top of the charts. But the rest of them, Loma, Tank, Garcia, fight each other, man. Let's get it on. Simple. The Javier Fortunas and Uzabara Tank beat Rolly Romero. It's not going to cut the mustard at this level. It's not. Simple as.
I mean, Ryan Garcia was interim title for the WBC, so mandatory for Devin Haney. And obviously, he took a break from boxing due to personal reasons, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's back fighting at a level which Well, I guess he needs to warm back into it. Tango Fortuna seems like a slight step up in warm-up levels before operating at the level he should be at, which is against these other big men.
Yeah.
So yeah, I expect him to win. Expect him to do his thing. He needs to look impressive again.
Yeah.
Because once again, we have to judge these fighters by the work they're putting in the ring. So
fight by fight. Yeah.
Fight by fight. We're judging them fight by fight because until they fight each other, everyone's going to be pitting them against each other. We're adjusting the rankings and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So he needs to really put his name in that hat again and make people put some respect to his name.
Yeah.
I don't think Fortuna is the guy to do it against, but again, boxing fans, they've got such a fan base now that people ride off whatever they do in terms of wins. So, like we said, the Rolly Romero's and whatnot aren't the level we want to be seeing, but you'll get credit for beating them if you beat them well. So he needs to win his fight well.
Yeah.
Do his thing.
Realistically, what is the most out of all of them? What is the most realistic opponent out of the names we mentioned in that lightweight division? We've already ruled out Tank and said that's highly unrealistic and probably not going to happen anytime soon, or ever, even. Which is a shame. But out of Haney and Loma, which one of those two do you think can actually be made for Ryan? You know, I would have said Haney before, but even when Haney was on the zone, it didn't happen. So I don't even know. Yeah, Loma's on top rank, so we know Oscar doesn't like his guys. It's so sad. None of them seem realistic.
I'm just shaking my head.
That is so peak, man.
Funny enough, I think Tank's the most realistic. That's how I'm really.
That's insane.
That's how I'm realistic. In like the near future, like this year, even next year, I don't see any of them happening. Purely because Devin Haney's tied to a rematch, then they're gonna make the Loma Haney fight after. Like we see that path already.
Yeah.
Tank, they're gonna keep feeding him what they're feeding him. Garcia, I don't know what's happening. Yeah, keeping it in-house. So I think so it makes me think from a business point of view, the one that makes the most money is Ryan Garcia Tank.
Yeah.
That might be the most likely.
The thing is that makes a lot of money. In fact, that makes more money than Garcia Haney or Garcia Loma. That makes hella P.
Yeah. That's selling out. Yeah, that's doing big numbers.
Pay-per-view as well. Yeah.
And that's the only reason why you might think, okay, that's a reason for it to happen. But it's not going to happen anytime soon. So, yeah, we're just going to keep seeing these guys.
What a jarring division, and tweet each other all the time, but not put actually, not get into it.
And it's a crying shame because what's it called? Recently, we've had the announcements of Marshall, Shields, Baumgardner, Mayer. 3 of the most highly anticipated female fights are all happening in the same year.
Yeah.
They're running it immediately on the same cards, all running it. Active on Twitter, active in real life. And then most highly anticipated men's fights.
Not even close to be brother. we still haven't got a Spence Crawford announcement.
Just saying, all I've seen is tweets from each other. Just tweets, random people tweeting.
We still ain't
fan
got
base is tweeting. And then we've got Tyson Fury saying he's retired, saying he doesn't care about money. Then he says he wants $500 million. Then he's saying he'll fight for free. Then he's saying he's retired.
The men are slacking still. These lightweights, they've been slacking for a while. I've called them out many times. You know what, Flowz? In fact, let these guys keep playing. It's cool. Shakur's coming to clean you guys up anyway, so that's me. Shakur's coming to clean you guys' clock. So
they're gonna duck it. They're gonna duck him.
You man are on borrowed time. Shakur's coming.
They're ducking all that smoke, man.
Apart from Haney, I think Haney will happily fight him. Yeah, they're boys as well. But yeah,
Haney's on. Yeah, Haney's with it. I'll give him that.
Yeah,
he really be pulling up to guys, and this guy was a champion, and people would duck. But
I'll never forget that. I'll never forget. But I said, bro, you know you're my mandatory, right? All we have to do is request and they'll make the fight. How can the guy say, "What you request?" I'll never forget. I'll never forget Flowz. I collapsed when I saw that, man. It's so funny.
It's not funny, that
It's
is.
so funny.
Imagine you saying the champion should request to fight them.
Oh, and speaking of
Get at the door for your shot.
yeah, for real, man. Hey, man, we're losing recipes. The men are losing recipes, man. We used to go to war. And on that, before I close as well, surely, I keep saying this, keep thinking it, because you keep reminding me every time you say that Haney's locked into another rematch or whatever. Surely it's not going to happen, surely. Obviously, I haven't heard any word of it since the fight, but surely it can't happen. For why, man?
Cambosos definitely wants it, but business-wise, I don't know how they're going to slang that rematch.
Yeah, man.
You have to come up with some fake backstory or something.
Yeah, injury or something. Yeah.
They're gonna have to do something because yeah, it's
such a comprehensive defeat. I don't know, man. We'll see how that one plays out. It just seems to be a bit of a hold up though, because I feel like we could get the Lomachenko fight now.
What they might do is if they could try slang step aside. So even then, like make Loma Haney, then the winner faces Cambosos, maybe.
Yeah.
But even then, yeah, that's unlikely because you're down the pecking order regardless now.
Yeah.
So you better hold on to that rematch. But we'll see.
Oh, cool. Let's leave it there, Flowz. Another quick comprehensive roundup. Shout out to Derek. He got that W. A lot of people were happy to see him get that W. It's good to see him winning again. So I think 4 back-to-back losses would have been a bit peak for people to slang him staying active and whatnot. But now that he's got his W, I can set him back a couple, give him back some time anyways. But yeah, man, this has been episode 98 of the SZN Podcast. Once again, I've been your boy Kam.
I'm your boy Flowz.
And as always, please continue to support. Keep it locked. Peace.
You take it a strap. I'm strapped up.
What was that about?
Let's make the fight happen. We strapped the fuck up.